In the heart of a sprawling forest, tucked far away from the bustling world, lay a secret haven known as the Whispering Waterfalls. The forest itself was alive with sounds. Birds sang their morning melodies, the wind hummed softly through the towering pines, and the gentle rustle of leaves formed a constant, soothing rhythm. But the most enchanting sound of all came from the falls. The Whispering Waterfalls weren't like ordinary waterfalls. While most cascades roared with power, these falls spoke in a language all their own, their water tumbling down in gentle whispers that told stories of old. Some villagers claimed that if you stood close enough to the shimmering curtain of water and listened carefully, you could hear the secrets of the forest itself. Living at the edge of this magical forest were two siblings, Eliza and Theo. Eliza the elder was a curious and thoughtful girl with a head full of questions and a notebook always tucked under her arm. She had sparkling brown eyes that seemed to catch the light like fireflies and a knack for solving puzzles. Theo, her younger brother, was a spirited boy with boundless energy and a laugh as contagious as sunshine. Though younger, he was fearless, always charging headfirst into adventures while Eliza tried to rein in his enthusiasm. The siblings spent their summer days exploring the forest, filling their backpacks with wildflowers, smooth pebbles, and the occasional forgotten treasure. But the Whispering Waterfalls was their favourite spot of all. They would sit for hours on the mossy rocks, listening to the water's whispers and making up their own stories about the secrets it held. One golden afternoon, as the sun dipped lower in the sky and cast long shadows across the clearing, Eliza and Theo sat side by the falls. The light sparkled on the water, making it look like liquid diamonds. Theo leaned back, propping himself on his elbows. "Do you ever wonder," he asked, "where the water goes after it tumbles down?" Eliza smiled, pulling her notebook from her satchel and flipping through its well-worn pages. "All the time," she replied. "I've been sketching maps of the forest, trying to figure it out. The water has to go somewhere, right?" Theo sat up, his blue eyes bright with excitement. "Maybe there's a secret river underground, or—" He paused for dramatic effect. "A hidden kingdom where the water leads to mermaids and treasure." Eliza laughed, shaking her head. "You and your mermaids. But what if you're right? What if there's something behind the falls that no one's ever found?" Theo jumped to his feet, peering at the cascading water. "There's only one way to find out." The idea of an unexplored world stirred something in both their hearts. Together, they approached the edge of the pool where the waterfall's mist created tiny rainbows in the sunlight. The whispers seemed louder today, almost urgent, as if they were calling out to the siblings. "Eliza," Theo said, his voice suddenly serious. "Do you hear that?" She tilted her head, listening closely. The usual melodic whispers of the water had changed. They sounded disjointed, off-key, as though the falls were struggling to tell their stories. Eliza frowned, stepping closer. "It's like the water's lost its voice." "That's weird," Theo said. "What could make a waterfall stop whispering?" They both stared at the shimmering curtain of water, the mystery drawing them in. Eliza noticed something she hadn't before, a faint glimmer behind the falls like sunlight catching on glass. "Do you see that?" she asked, pointing. Theo squinted. "Yeah, it's glowing. Do you think it's treasure?" Eliza rolled her eyes. "Not everything's about treasure, Theo." He grinned. "No, but most things should be." Without another word, Theo began hopping from rock to rock, moving closer to the base of the falls. Eliza hesitated for a moment, glancing back at the forest. The late afternoon sunlight was already fading, and the familiar path home seemed far away. But the pull of the unknown was stronger than her caution. With a sigh, she tucked her notebook into her bag and followed her brother, her boots splashing lightly in the cool water. As they neared the falls, the whispers grew louder, mingling with the steady sound of cascading water. It felt as though the falls were guiding them forward, urging them to step closer. Finally, Theo stopped, balancing on a flat stone right in front of the waterfall. "Look!" he exclaimed, pointing to a narrow crevice behind the shimmering water. The glow was stronger now, casting faint ripples of light across their faces. Eliza's breath caught. "A pathway," she murmured, "behind the falls." Theo reached for her hand, his excitement contagious. "Come on, Eliza, let's see what's behind the whispering waterfalls." As they stepped through the veil of water, the world behind the falls revealed itself, an entrance to a hidden realm that shimmered with possibilities. As Eliza and Theo stepped through the cascading veil of the whispering waterfalls, they found themselves in a world unlike anything they had ever seen. The air was cooler, tinged with the crisp scent of water lilies and moss. Soft light emanated from glowing fungi that clung to the stone walls, illuminating a wide cavern that stretched far beyond the reach of the falls. Theo's eyes widened as he gazed around. "This is amazing!" he exclaimed, his voice echoing against the damp walls. Eliza, ever the cautious one, scanned the space carefully. The floor of the cavern was slick with water, and a shallow stream meandered through it, its surface shimmering with a faint blue glow. Above them, stalactites glistened like crystalline chandeliers. "This must be where the waterfall leads," Eliza said, her voice hushed with wonder. "But it's so quiet." Indeed, the soft whispers of the falls that had guided them here were barely audible now, replaced by an unsettling silence. The only sound was the gentle trickle of the glowing stream, as though the world behind the waterfall was holding its breath. Theo crouched by the stream, running his fingers through the glowing water. "It's warm," he said, looking up at Eliza. "And look!" He pointed downstream. "The water's glowing even brighter further ahead. Let's follow it." Before Eliza could protest, Theo was already splashing down the stream, his laughter echoing in the cavern. With a resigned sigh, she followed him, her boots making soft, squelching noises against the wet stone. The siblings moved deeper into the cavern, the glowing water guiding their way. The stream widened into a small lagoon, its surface reflecting the soft light of the bioluminescent fungi. At the far end of the lagoon, they saw a stone archway carved with intricate patterns, swirling waves, leaping fish, and delicate seashells. Theo ran his hand over the carvings. "Do you think this is a door?" he asked. Eliza nodded, tracing the patterns with her fingers. "It must be, but how do we open it?" Before Theo could answer, the carvings began to glow, the light pulsating in rhythm with the sound of the stream. A soft melody filled the air, faint and fragmented, as if trying to piece itself together. "That's the whispering sound," Theo exclaimed. "The waterfalls must be connected to this place." Eliza frowned, her mind racing. "But it's broken," she said. "The melody isn't complete." As if in response to her words, the stone archway trembled and the lagoon rippled violently. The siblings stepped back, their eyes wide with alarm as the archway slowly opened, revealing a tunnel bathed in a faint blue light. "We have to go through," Theo said, grabbing Eliza's hand. "If the melody is broken, maybe we can fix it." Eliza hesitated. "We don't know what's on the other side." Theo grinned. "That's the best part. Come on, Eliza, it's an adventure." With a deep breath, Eliza nodded, and the two of them stepped through the archway. The tunnel was narrow, with walls that shimmered like polished silver. As they walked, the melody grew louder, its fragmented notes echoing around them. It was a sad tune, heavy with longing, and it made Eliza's chest ache. "What do you think happened to the melody?" Theo asked, his voice unusually quiet. "I don't know," Eliza replied, "but I think it's why the falls are whispering differently. Something's wrong." The tunnel opened into a vast underwater kingdom. The siblings gasped in unison as they stepped onto a platform made of coral, their eyes taking in the breathtaking sight before them. The kingdom was a labyrinth of shimmering waterways with bridges of sea glass arching over rivers of glowing water. Towers made of pearls and coral spiraled upward, their surfaces glinting in the soft ethereal light. But the kingdom was eerily silent. The waterways were filled with merfolk and other water creatures, frogs with translucent skin, shimmering fish that glowed like tiny lanterns, and otters with sleek, silvery fur. Yet none of them were moving. They floated listlessly, their eyes dull, their movements slow and lethargic. Theo's excitement turned to concern. "What's wrong with them?" he whispered. Eliza shook her head, her heart sinking. "I don't know. It's like they've lost their spark." A figure emerged from the water near the siblings, breaking the surface with a soft splash. It was a mermaid, her long silver hair flowing like liquid moonlight. Her eyes, though kind, were filled with sadness, and her voice, when she spoke, was barely more than a whisper. "Who are you?" she asked, her gaze flickering between Eliza and Theo. "I'm Eliza, and this is my brother Theo," Eliza said. "We followed the waterfall here. We think something's wrong with the melody." The mermaid nodded solemnly. "You are right. The melody is the lifeblood of our kingdom. It flows through the water, through us, and keeps our world alive. But something has broken it, and we are fading without its song." "What broke it?" Theo asked. The mermaid's expression darkened. "A shadow. A darkness that crept into our waters, silencing the melody and stealing its harmony. We have tried to fix it, but the shadow is too strong." Eliza stepped forward, her curiosity overcoming her fear. "What is this shadow? Can we stop it?" The mermaid studied her for a long moment before speaking. "The shadow is a creature that feeds on sound and light. It has hidden itself in the deepest part of the kingdom where the melody originates. To restore the melody, you must venture there and confront the shadow." Theo's eyes lit up. "We'll do it. We'll help you get your melody back." Eliza hesitated, glancing at her brother. "Theo, this sounds dangerous." He turned to her, his expression earnest. "Eliza, we can't just leave them like this. They need us." The mermaid reached out, placing a hand on Eliza's shoulder. "You are brave to offer your help, but be warned. The path is treacherous and the shadow is cunning. You must work together and trust each other if you are to succeed." Eliza took a deep breath, her determination hardening. "We'll do it," she said. "We'll bring the melody back." The mermaid smiled, faintly, her eyes glistening with gratitude. "Thank you," she said. "Follow the glowing water. It will lead you to the heart of the kingdom where the melody begins." As the siblings prepared to set off, Theo squeezed Eliza's hand. "We've got this," he said confidently. Eliza managed a small smile. "I hope you're right." With the glowing water as their guide, the siblings stepped into the unknown, ready to face the shadow and restore the lost melody of the whispering waterfalls. Eliza and Theo followed the glowing stream as it snaked through the underwater kingdom. The bioluminescent waters cast shimmering patterns on the coral walls, painting the path with a surreal, otherworldly glow. Despite the beauty surrounding them, the kingdom remained eerily quiet, and the absence of sound weighed heavily on their hearts. Theo tightened his grip on Eliza's hand as they crossed a bridge made of translucent sea glass. "Do you think the shadow knows we're coming?" he whispered. Eliza glanced around, her eyes scanning the still waters. "I don't know, Theo, but we need to be ready for anything." The siblings pressed on, their footsteps echoing faintly in the silence. As they entered a wide plaza, they spotted a gathering of water creatures clustered around a dry, cracked fountain. At the center of the group was a large, glistening frog with a golden crown perched atop his head. His skin sparkled faintly in the dim light, but his eyes were dull and his movements sluggish. "Maybe he can help us," Eliza said, tugging Theo forward. The frog turned his weary gaze toward them as they approached. "Who dares disturb the fountain of songs?" he croaked, his voice raspy and faint. "We're Eliza and Theo," Eliza said gently. "We're here to help restore the melody to your kingdom." The frog's eyes widened slightly. "You seek to confront the shadow?" he asked. "Many have tried, but none have returned." Theo stepped forward boldly. "We have to try. The melody is important, isn't it?" "More than you can imagine," the frog said, his voice softening. "The melody flows through every stream, every river, and every heart in this kingdom. Without it, we are fading." Eliza nodded. "We were told the shadow is hiding in the heart of the kingdom. Can you guide us there?" The frog hesitated, then let out a deep sigh. "I am King Rivet, guardian of the Fountain of Songs. I once knew the path to the melody source, but my memories are clouded by the shadow's presence. However, there is one who may help you, a wise fish named Lumina. She dwells in the crystal caverns beyond the moonlit lagoon. Seek her guidance, but be warned, the journey will not be easy." "Thank you, Your Majesty," Eliza said, bowing slightly. "We'll find Lumina." King Rivet gestured toward a narrow passage leading out of the plaza. "Follow the glowing waters. They will guide you to the lagoon. May the melody protect you." The siblings set off, the glowing stream once again their guide. The passageway grew narrower and darker, the walls closing in around them. Eliza kept her hand on Theo's shoulder as they waded through the shallow water, their steps cautious and deliberate. Suddenly, the stream split into two paths, each glowing with equal intensity. "Which way do we go?" Theo asked, glancing between the two streams. Eliza studied the paths, her brow furrowing. "Let's listen," she said. "Maybe the melody can guide us." They stood in silence, their ears straining for any hint of sound. At first, there was nothing but the gentle ripple of the water. Then, faintly, they heard it, a soft hum coming from the left path. "This way," Eliza said, leading Theo toward the hum. The path opened into a vast lagoon, bathed in soft, silvery light. The water shimmered like liquid moonlight, and clusters of glowing lilies floated serenely on the surface. In the center of the lagoon was a small island, its shores lined with crystals that sparkled like diamonds. "There's the crystal caverns," Theo said, pointing to the island. "How do we get there?" Eliza asked, scanning the water. A sudden splash drew their attention to a group of otters paddling nearby. One of them, a sleek, silvery creature with a mischievous grin, swam over to them. "Looking for a ride?" the otter asked, his voice light and playful. Theo grinned. "You bet! We need to get to the crystal caverns." The otter nodded. "Hop on my back, and I'll take you there." The siblings climbed onto the otter's back, gripping his sleek fur tightly as he swam toward the island. The water was cool against their legs, and the otter moved gracefully through the lagoon, his laughter bubbling like the melody they sought to restore. When they reached the island, the otter set them down gently on the shore. "Good luck," he said, his grin softening. "I hope you find what you're looking for." "Thank you," Eliza said, giving him a grateful smile. The siblings entered the crystal caverns, their steps echoing against the walls of sparkling quartz. The air was cooler here, and the hum of the melody grew louder, resonating through the crystals like a gentle heartbeat. As they ventured deeper, they spotted a shimmering fish swimming in a pool of glowing water. Her scales sparkled like 1,000 tiny rainbows, and her eyes were wise and kind. "Are you Lumina?" Eliza asked. The fish nodded, her voice melodic and soothing. "I am, and you must be the one seeking to restore the melody." "We are," Theo said. "King Rivet told us you could guide us to the melody's source." Lumina swam closer, her gaze piercing yet gentle. "The shadow has taken root in the abyssal chasm, where the melody originates. To reach it, you must pass through 3 trials: the trial of harmony, the trial of courage, and the trial of unity. Only by completing these trials can you reach the chasm and confront the shadow." "What kind of trials?" Eliza asked, her voice steady despite the weight of Lumina's words. "The trial of harmony will test your ability to find balance and restore what is broken," Lumina explained. "The trial of courage will challenge your fears and require you to face them head-on, and the trial of unity will demand that you work together, for only through teamwork can the melody be restored." Theo glanced at Eliza, his excitement mingled with apprehension. "We can do this," he said. "Right, Eliza?" Eliza nodded, her determination unwavering. "We have to, for the kingdom and for the melody." Lumina smiled, her fins shimmering in the light. "Then follow the melody's call, and may your hearts remain steadfast. Remember, the shadow will try to divide you. Trust in each other, and you will prevail." The siblings thanked Lumina and left the crystal caverns, their resolve stronger than ever. The glowing stream guided them once more, its light leading them toward the trials that awaited. As they stepped into the unknown, the hum of the melody grew louder, its fragmented notes a reminder of the kingdom's desperate need. Eliza and Theo tightened their grips on each other's hands, their hearts united in their quest to restore the whispering waterfalls. Eliza and Theo stood at the entrance to the abyssal chasm, a gaping maw in the ocean floor surrounded by swirling currents of dark water. The melody's hum was louder here, but its notes were fractured and distorted, as though trapped in an endless struggle. The siblings exchanged a determined glance, their hands tightly clasped. "This is it," Eliza said, her voice steady. "The trials are ahead." Theo nodded, his gaze fixed on the shadowy depths below. "We've come this far. We can't turn back now." The first trial began as they stepped into the chasm, The water around them shimmered, and they found themselves in a vast chamber filled with broken coral reefs and shattered shells. The melody was faint here, its harmony disrupted by the chaos. "This must be the trial of harmony," Eliza said, scanning the scene. "We need to fix this." Theo knelt by a piece of broken coral, running his fingers over its jagged edges. "How do we put it back together?" A soft voice echoed around them, ethereal and gentle. "To restore harmony, you must listen and respond. The melody will guide you." Eliza closed her eyes and focused on the faint melody. As she listened, though, the notes seemed to weave a pattern like an invisible thread connecting the fragments. She reached for a nearby coral piece and placed it where the melody seemed to direct. Theo followed her lead, and together they worked to rebuild the reef. With each piece they restored, the melody grew stronger and more vibrant, filling the chamber with a soothing resonance. When the last piece of coral clicked into place, the reef glowed with a radiant light. The melody swelled, its harmony restored, and the siblings felt a surge of warmth and hope. "You've passed the trial of harmony," the voice said, its tone filled with approval. "Now, face the trial of courage." The chamber dissolved and the siblings were plunged into darkness. The melody was almost inaudible here, drowned out by an eerie silence. Shapes shifted in the shadows, and a chill ran down Eliza's spine. "What is this place?" Theo whispered, clutching her arm. A low growl echoed from the darkness, followed by a pair of glowing red eyes. The siblings froze as a massive shadowy beast emerged, its form shifting and writhing like smoke. Its deep voice rumbled, "You dare to challenge the shadow?" Eliza stepped forward, her voice trembling but resolute. "We're here to restore the melody. We won't back down." The beast laughed, a sound that reverberated through the chamber. "Then face your fears." The shadows around them twisted into terrifying forms, a storm of memories and insecurities. Eliza saw herself failing to protect Theo, while Theo saw visions of losing Eliza. The fears pressed down on them, suffocating and relentless. Theo clung to Eliza, his voice shaking. I don't know if we can do this." Eliza knelt in front of him, her hands on his shoulders. "Theo, remember what Lumina said? We have to trust each other. We're stronger together." Drawing courage from her words, Theo stood taller. "You're right. We can face this." The siblings turned to the beast, their fear replaced by determination. Eliza reached for Theo's hand, and together they stepped forward. The shadows recoiled at their unity, and the beast snarled in frustration. "You cannot defeat me," it growled. "I am your fear." Eliza's voice was steady as she replied, "You are a part of us, but you do not define us." "We choose courage." With those words, the siblings stepped into the heart of the shadow. It roared, its form dissipating like smoke in the wind. The melody returned stronger than ever, filling the chamber with a light. "You've passed the trial of courage," the voice said, its tone triumphant. "Now the final trial awaits, the trial of unity." The chamber shifted once more, and the siblings found themselves in a circular arena surrounded by a swirling vortex of water. At the center stood a pedestal with a glowing crystal, a fragment of the melody's source, but the vortex's pull was strong, and the path to the pedestal was treacherous. "We have to get to the crystal," Theo said, shielding his eyes from the spray. Eliza nodded. "We'll need to work together." The siblings moved cautiously, navigating the slippery stones and powerful currents. When Theo slipped, Eliza caught him, her grip firm. When Eliza struggled against the current, Theo pulled her forward, his determination unwavering. As they approached the pedestal, the vortex intensified. The crystal seemed to resonate with the melody, its glow pulsating in rhythm with the song. But a voice echoed from the depths, a cold, menacing tone. "You cannot take it," the shadow hissed, its form reappearing as a swirling mass of darkness. "The melody belongs to me." Eliza stepped forward, her eyes blazing. "The melody belongs to everyone. It's not yours to keep." The shadow lunged toward them, but Theo threw a shard of broken coral into its path, slowing its advance. "Go, Eliza!" he shouted. Eliza sprinted toward the pedestal, her heart pounding. The shadow lashed out, but Theo shielded her, his courage unwavering. As Eliza reached the crystal, she placed her hands on its surface, feeling its warmth and power. "Together, Theo!" she called. Theo joined her, their hands clasped over the crystal. The melody surged, its notes swirling around them in a dazzling display of light and sound. The shadow howled, its form unraveling as the melody's power grew. The siblings held firm, their unity unshakable. The crystal pulsed one final time, and the shadow dissolved, its dark presence banished from the kingdom. The vortex calmed, and the water became still. The melody flowed freely once more, its harmony restored. The siblings felt a deep sense of peace as they stood together, their mission complete. The glowing crystal transformed into a beautiful orb, its surface shimmering like liquid starlight. Eliza and Theo held it aloft, its light spreading throughout the kingdom. The melody returned to every stream, river, and waterfall, filling the kingdom with life and joy. "You've passed the trial of unity," the voice said, its tone filled with pride. "The melody is whole again, thanks to your courage and teamwork." The siblings smiled at each other, their bond stronger than ever. They had faced their fears, worked together, and restored the whispering waterfalls. The glow of the restored crystal bathed Eliza and Theo in a soft, radiant light. The melody now flowed through the whispering waterfalls, harmonizing with the gentle trickle of water and the rustling leaves in the kingdom. The oppressive silence was gone, replaced by a symphony of sounds that made the entire realm feel alive again. Theo let out a relieved laugh, collapsing onto the smooth stones beside the pedestal. "We did it, Eliza. The melody is back." Eliza sank to her knees, her breath catching in her throat. "We really did," she whispered, a tear slipping down her cheek. "It's so beautiful." The siblings sat in peaceful silence for a moment, soaking in the serenity of the restored kingdom. The once dim waters of the abyssal chasm now shimmered with vibrant hues of blue and green, and tiny glowing fish darted around them, their movements synchronized with the melody's rhythm. A familiar voice broke the quiet. "Well done, young ones." Eliza and Theo looked up to see Lumina, her shimmering scales reflecting the crystal's light. She swam gracefully toward them, her expression a mix of pride and warmth. "You have accomplished what many thought impossible," Lumina said, her voice lilting like a gentle song. "The shadow is gone and the kingdom can flourish once more." Eliza stood, brushing the damp from her knees. "We couldn't have done it without your guidance, Lumina." Lumina tilted her head, a playful twinkle in her eyes. "Guidance is only as powerful as those who follow it. You showed courage, unity, and resilience. The melody chose well." Theo's cheeks flushed with pride, but he quickly pointed to the glowing orb resting on the pedestal. What about this? What do we do with it? The orb is the heart of the melody, Lumina explained. It must be returned to its rightful place at the peak of the Whispering Waterfalls. There, its light will flow through every stream, ensuring the melody's harmony endures. Eliza nodded, her determination renewed. Then we'll take it back. Lumina swam closer, her voice lowering to a gentle hum. The journey will not be easy, but I believe in you. And remember, you are never alone. The melody flows through you now. With that, Lumina dipped her head in farewell and vanished into the glowing waters. Eliza and Theo exchanged a determined glance, then carefully lifted the orb from its pedestal. It was surprisingly light, its surface warm to the touch. The journey back through the kingdom was a stark contrast to their earlier trek. The realm was no longer cloaked in shadows and silence. Instead, vibrant colors and cheerful sounds surrounded them. Water creatures emerged from their hiding places to greet the siblings, their faces alight with gratitude. A family of merfolk waved from a cluster of coral, their melodic laughter blending seamlessly with the restored harmony. Schools of shimmering fish danced in intricate patterns, their scales sparkling like liquid rainbows. Look at how happy everyone is, Theo said, his voice filled with wonder. It's like the whole kingdom is celebrating. Eliza smiled. It's because they can feel the melody again. It connects all of us. As they approached the Whispering Waterfalls, they were greeted by King Rivet and a gathering of water creatures who had come to witness the orb's return. The king's crown sparkled brightly, and his once dull eyes now gleamed with vitality. Welcome back, brave heroes, King Rivet said, his voice booming with joy. You have restored the heart of our kingdom. The Whispering Waterfalls are ready to sing once more. The crowd parted as Eliza and Theo stepped forward, the orb cradled carefully in their hands. The waterfalls shimmered in the moonlight, their cascading waters creating a symphony of sound that resonated through the valley. Place the orb in the heart of the falls, King Rivet instructed. Its light will awaken the melody in full. Eliza and Theo climbed a winding path to the base of the falls, where a stone altar awaited. The siblings exchanged a nod, then gently placed the orb onto the altar. As soon as it touched the surface, the waterfalls erupted in a dazzling display of light and sound. The melody surged, its notes rising and falling in perfect harmony. The water shimmered like liquid silver, and beams of light shot into the sky, illuminating the entire kingdom. The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices blending with the melody in a triumphant chorus. Theo laughed, spinning in circles with his arms outstretched. This is amazing! Eliza watched the celebration with a sense of deep fulfillment. She turned to King Rivet, who stood beside her, his expression one of profound gratitude. Thank you, the king said, bowing his head. You have given us back our song, and with it, our hope. Eliza smiled. It wasn't just us. It was everyone who believed in the melody. As the celebration continued, the siblings found a quiet spot by the water's edge. The moon cast a gentle glow over the scene, and the melody's soothing hum filled the air. Theo leaned back on his hands, gazing up at the starry sky. Do you think the melody will always be here? Eliza nodded. As long as we remember to protect it. It's not just about the song, it's about everything it represents. Connection, balance, and working together. Theo grinned. Then I guess we're melody keepers now. Eliza laughed, ruffling his hair. I guess we are. The siblings sat in peaceful silence, watching as the kingdom came alive with joy and harmony. The whispering waterfalls had found their voice again, and with it, the kingdom had rediscovered its soul. When the time came to leave, King Rivet and the water creatures gathered to bid them farewell. The king placed a small, glowing crystal in Eliza's hand, a fragment of the melody's heart. "Take this as a reminder of your bravery," he said. "The melody will always be with you." Eliza and Theo thanked the king and the creatures, their hearts full of gratitude. As they made their way back through the forest, the melody's hum followed them, a gentle reminder of the journey they had undertaken. By the time they reached the clearing by the waterfall's edge, dawn was breaking. The siblings paused to watch the first rays of sunlight dance across the water, their golden light mingling with the melody's glow. Theo sighed contentedly. "I think this is the best adventure we've ever had." Eliza smiled, wrapping an arm around his shoulders. "And it's one we'll never forget." As they walked back to their village, the melody played softly in their minds, a testament to the power of courage, teamwork, and the bonds that hold the world together. Now that Eliza and Theo had returned from their incredible adventure, the melody of the whispering waterfalls continued to hum softly, not just in the forest, but in their hearts. As the siblings lay back in their cozy beds that night, the glow of the moonlight filtered gently through their windows, filling the room with a peaceful silver light. The comforting sound of the waterfall song played in their minds like a lullaby crafted just for them. Theo yawned deeply, his body sinking into the warm embrace of his blanket. Eliza smiled at him from across the room, her eyes heavy with sleep, but her heart light with joy. "Good night, Theo," Eliza whispered, her voice as soft as the melody. "Good night, Eliza," Theo replied, his words already drifting into the world of dreams. "Now, little one, as you settle into your bed, imagine you're lying beside a gentle stream, just like the one flowing from the whispering waterfalls. The water glistens in the moonlight, its surface like a mirror reflecting the stars above. The sound of the stream is soft and soothing, like a gentle song just for you. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Feel your chest rise and fall as the cool night air fills your lungs and then releases every bit of tension. Let's do it again. Breathe in and out. Now, let your body grow heavier with each breath, as if you're melting into your bed. Feel your toes relax, as though they're dipping into the cool, calming water of the stream. Let the relaxation flow up through your legs, to your knees, and all the way to your hips. With each breath, feel the relaxation spread further. Your tummy softens, your back sinks gently into your bed, and your arms grow heavy as though they're being held by the softest clouds. Your whole body feels warm and safe, as if wrapped in a gentle hug from the melody itself. Now close your eyes and imagine you're walking through the lush forest of the whispering waterfalls. The trees are tall and protective, their leaves rustling gently in the breeze, almost as if they're whispering secrets to you. As you walk, the path leads you to the waterfall. Its sparkling waters cascade down in shimmering ribbons, singing the song of the forest. You step closer, feeling the cool mist on your cheeks. The sound of the water fills your ears, washing away all your worries and leaving only peace. Take a deep breath in and out. Now imagine the water of the falls flowing through you, cleansing your mind and body of any heaviness. With each drop that falls, feel lighter and freer. You notice a cozy spot near the waterfall, a soft bed of moss glowing faintly under the moonlight. You sit there and close your eyes, letting the song of the falls surround you. The water creatures, kind merfolk, cheerful frogs and shimmering fish, swim nearby, their movements adding to the harmony. One of the merfolk smiles at you, their voice gentle and melodic. "You are brave," they say, their words echoing softly in your mind. "You are kind, and you carry light wherever you go." The frogs hop closer, their croaks forming a rhythmic chorus. "You are strong," they chant. "You are a friend to the world around you." The shimmering fish swim in swirling patterns, creating trails of light in the water. "You are special," they whisper, their voices like tiny bells. "You are a melody all your own." As the creatures speak, feel their words sink into your heart. Repeat them silently to yourself. "I am brave. I am kind. I am strong. I am a friend to the world. I am special, and I carry my own melody." Take another deep breath in and out. Imagine the forest and the waterfall wrapping you in their gentle embrace. The stars above twinkle brightly, as if they're smiling down at you. Now let your mind drift higher, like a leaf floating on the breeze. You're rising, carried gently by the melody. The sounds of the forest grow softer and the stars seem closer than ever. You feel weightless, as if you're part of the sky itself. You see a soft, fluffy cloud nearby, glowing faintly in the moonlight. You climb onto it and it cradles you like the softest blanket. As the cloud carries you higher, you feel every part of you grow lighter. Your toes, your legs, your tummy, your arms, everything is soft and at ease. The cloud drifts lazily through the sky, carrying you over the whispering waterfalls, over the glowing forest, and toward the endless expanse of stars. You feel safe, surrounded by the melody, the stars, and the gentle warmth of the cloud. Take another deep breath in and out. With every breath, you sink deeper into relaxation. The cloud feels like a dream, holding you gently as it carries you to the land of sleep. In your dreams, you can visit the hidden kingdom again. You can swim with the shimmering fish, hop with the cheerful frogs, and sing with the merfolk. The melody is always there, guiding you, reminding you of the courage, kindness, and light you carry. The stars wink at you, as if to say, "You are never alone. The melody is always with you." As the cloud drifts slower and slower, your breathing grows softer. Your eyes feel heavy, your body warm and peaceful. You are safe, surrounded by the whispers of the waterfalls, the rustling of the trees, and the gentle hum of the melody. Breathe in and out. Let yourself float into the deepest, most restful sleep. Feel the world of dreams wrap around you like the coziest blanket. You are brave, you are kind, you are strong, and you are ready to drift off, held by the melody of the whispering waterfalls. Good night, little dreamer. Sleep well, and may your dreams carry you to magical places.